of Disney. Please welcome five-time Emmy Award winner and Grammy nominee, executive producer, and star of Freedom's upcoming docuseries, Wayne Brady, The Family Remix. Y'all give it up for Wayne Brady!
Hey, y'all!
Come on, White Suit.
Hey, everybody, happy Sunday. Welcome. I've got to say, first off, this is my first year here at Essence. And I want to come back as many years as they'll have me to see all you beautiful, beautiful black faces and to be a part of this. This is life-changing. So it's wonderful to share this Sunday with you. So what we're doing today is I have the honor of introducing you to a lot of leading men. And not just leading men, these black leading men in the entertainment business who I feel, after meeting these gentlemen and after seeing their work, they're just not black leading men on screen, but they're black leading men off screen as well. And we're gonna have a conversation right now on how they, on camera, how they're changing the conversation about what black men are supposed to be looked at as, and the perception of black men as leading men, and how we are perceived as husbands, fathers, brothers, uncles, lovers, the whole nine. So, without any further ado, I'm so excited to be able to bring out these brothers on stage. Are you ready to meet them? No. Come on, are you ready to meet them? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, star of Onyx Collective's new comedy, How to Die Alone, Keelan Darrell Jones. Come on out, Keelan. Also starring in How to Die Alone, Jocko Sims. Star of Onyx Collective's steamy drama, Reasonable Doubt, McKinley Freeman. From 20th Television's hit drama 911 Lone Star, Brian Michael Smith. And from 20th Television's hit drama, The Shine, multi-talented singer-actor, Luke James. Welcome these gentlemen out. I love how y'all came out like it was a fashion show. Welcome to the Essence Men. Sir, gentlemen, happy Sunday, gents. It's so wonderful to be able to sit down and have a conversation with y'all. So we're having this conversation right now because as actors and as writers, I know that you're all also writers and producers, we're all about storytelling. And especially for black people, I feel that the storytelling is an important part of not just our culture and our heritage, but especially when other people try to tell our narratives and shape how we are seen in the media, it's important that we move the needle as storytellers. So you tell stories about fighting for love, mental health, belonging, how to be a better person. You're bringing all these stories to light, and for that, I salute you as your brother and as a fan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because this is a big talk. Because how often do we get to sit down like this and to have these talks, especially about things like vulnerability, right? Now, I don't know where you each growing up, but where I grew up, vulnerability is a bad word, especially for us, right? So in my show, The Family Remix, we talk about that as black men, as black fathers. We are taught that our vulnerability is not an asset, but it's a detriment. That if you show a softer side of yourself, if you show yourself to be open, if you show yourself to be artistic, that you're soft, and that's looked at as something that's bad. But I know for myself that vulnerability and masculinity can go together in the same package. So that's the conversation that we're gonna have right now, right? So our very first question goes out to Luke, Brian, and McKinley. Your characters and storylines are in essence challenging the expectations of what it means to be a black man. And you guys are showing us that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. Luke, Brian, McKinley, not all at once, but tell us about the feedback that you've gotten from playing your characters. Because we know that Instagram is the devil and the comment section is hell. So please, tell us.
Oh, well, you know, it's been a little bit of everything.
Wait a second, we gotta wait for that. You get it out your systems. And you can see your performance tonight, because you're singing tonight,
Oh
right?
yeah, 12 a.m. It's going down. Flowers. Frankie
Okay.
Beverly, baby.
Now please, sir.
Yes, I've gotten a little bit of everything in regards to playing Victor. But I understand, you know, it's important for us to shed light on our experience, the black man's experience, in hopes that someone can see themselves and, in a sense, be free, and then also to humanize the experience. That all walks of life can understand. We all are out here just looking for a space to feel safe and loved. And I've received all of the things, but you must give it grace, because we're not doing something that is just simply entertainment. It's supposed to, art is supposed to shift your molecules and make you think about life and the ways that it should be or it shouldn't be. And I'm just grateful to be a vessel.
No, I would like to say that some of the messages that I've received that I didn't think I would receive is from men who have found an opening within themselves to question all of the things in which they base their identity. Now, I'm a black trans man, and so most people don't know what that means. They don't know what it means to know who you are on the inside, but have the world tell you, you know, who they think you should be. And I feel like as black men, we experience that all the time, whether it's based on our gender experience or not. The world is always trying to tell you who a black man should be. So as a trans man, like, I had to, at a very early age, really ask myself, what does it mean to me to define myself as a man, with all the other things that everybody else depends on isn't necessarily available to me? And so what I've seen from Vans is an appreciation for that, for them to be able to do that themselves, to say, you know, I always thought I had to be this kind of man. The men in my life were like this, or the men that I saw on TV were like this, and I've always felt some kind of different. And so seeing a character like the kinds of characters that I play allowed them to say to themselves, I can be different. And in fact, what makes me different is why I'm here, you know? And it's my uniqueness that is my value, and I'm here to share that with the world, and I have to be courageous to share what makes me different.
Yes.
And so those things have kind of given me strength to keep going on, to keep being vulnerable, you know? So that cycle of sharing I found really important through the outreach that I've got from fans.
Yes.
What's going on? Hey, so first of all, it's great to be here. Thank you all for coming. And applause for Wayne, though. Wayne is a legend.
Wayne
Brady. Come on. Blueprint. But as far as playing Lewis on Reasonable Doubt, I think a lot of it is, thank you. A lot of it is, you said masculinity and vulnerability. I think both of them are opportunities to walk through the door, which is present in front of you. I think a lot of the time the paralysis of analysis of constantly trying to have the right answer or the right approach or a solution, where sometimes we just really need to slow down, pray, and give ourselves the grace to be human. Because nobody alive has all the answers. You point them out and I'm gonna show you a liar. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think reality is like giving ourselves the grace to be human and explore these character points of view in a very like authentic, genuine, sincere, I know somebody like that kind of way. And like Luke said, you know, the responsibility that we have as artists is to, it's not Luke coming up here trying to be super creative so y'all can think he's interesting, or any of these talented dudes. It's if we all show up to work being like, how can I be the most authentic expression of this point of view that's important? And I think like all these gentlemen will eventually allude to, it's like we have a responsibility to be honest. And a lot of that is also, we got to be honest with I have to be honest with myself as a human being before I can be honest with myself as a creative person. So.
That's what I love about this, right? Is what I was saying earlier about the narrative about, well, the black narrative in general, but the black narrative of being a black male, that's been put on us since the very beginning, right? So the fact that we live in a day and age right now where we didn't have archetypes like your characters on screen 10 years ago.
Right.
Much less going back to when Sidney Poitier was the only leading man on camera. So the fact that we live in a day and age where each of you courageously can challenge the misperceptions of what it means to be vulnerable, to be a man, to talk about mental health, to talk about
to be a father, to be a friend, all those things.
instead of just the cardboard thing of, well, you're the thug, and well, if you're not a thug, then you're a black nerd, and you're this, we have the freedom to do everything that we can. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
Yes.
So this question is for Jocko. Now, on How to Die Alone, now you haven't seen it yet, so I'll explain this to you. Now, How to Die Alone follows Mel and Natasha Rothwell. She's a black JFK airport employee who's never been in love, and she's forgotten how to dream until an accidental brush with death inspires her to start living by any means necessary. I love this already. Now, who are you to Mel, and how does your character's vulnerability that we've talked about and your self-awareness come into play with her?
Absolutely, thank you. What's up, Essence? This is my first time here. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you so much, Mr. Brady. I'm really excited about How to Die Alone. It's my first comedy after 2 decades in the game, and I'm really thankful to Natasha Rothwell for giving me that opportunity. You said that she had never been in love, and she's written it such that Mel had never allowed herself to be loved. And I play her current boss and former fling lover at JFK Airport. And it's difficult for Alex, my character, I play Alex, because he was rejected by Mel. Speaking of being vulnerable, and he has to work side by side with her, and she didn't feel that she was worthy of that love. So I find it very interesting on the show, the fact that this person wants to love her so bad, and then he has to deal with being rejected, but because she didn't feel that she deserved it. So it's very complex. The writing is incredible. I'm very excited for everybody to see it. And it's a different type of character for me, different experience, and I'm loving it so far.
Love that, yes sir. Now Keelan, in How to Die Alone, the show tackles the theme of collective loneliness and belonging. As Mel's closest friend at JFK, how will we see your character support her as she discovers the difference between being alone and being lonely?
Thank you, Mr. Brady. Shout out to all of these brothers here. What's up, Essence? Shout out to Natasha Rothwell. September 13th, Hulu. Loneliness and being alone. Well, you know, I am her. I play Terrence on the show, and I'm her closest friend at the airport, and all of our interactions are somewhat therapeutic. You understand what I'm saying? And now we're not necessarily attacking or addressing going to therapy necessarily, but like these brothers were saying earlier, talking about your feelings, confronting your feelings, your loneliness, your shadow self, all your darkness, whatever it is something that my character allows her, gives her space to do, and in doing so, also he gives her a lot of advice. He's a former military vet, and so he talks about his own experiences in traveling the world and seeing the world, because, spoiler alert, she's afraid to fly, and so he has traveled the world, and so in those moments where they do connect, like I said, it gives her the space to explore her loneliness and her darker self and all the things that she encounters with Alex and with other characters, and just, I don't know, man, just giving her the space to recognize that there is a difference between being lonely and being alone and loneliness. You know what I'm saying?
Which I also love about what it sounds like your relationship is. It's nice to see that you as a man can offer this safe haven to this woman without any strings attached. That we know of, because I haven't watched the show yet.
Just wait.
But I'll be watching it in September on Hulu.
September 13th.
So the fact that we don't even see relationships like that, because it's always got to be one or the other.
Right.
So the fact that you're given that safe haven, that's something new. I love that.
Yes. We too can be a safe space. You know, I think that's important to depict such a character that doesn't want nothing more but to be a safe space. And I think it's important for women to see that those men do exist as well.
Because not all masculinity is toxic masculinity.
Right.
And being vulnerable is a part of being masculine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tropes, aphorisms, cliches are these things for a reason. And so, you know, if you lean into that and you can be both, and that makes you more masculine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Totally.
I actually think in the process of doing that comes with some added responsibility because you gotta know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just be talking out of your opinions, your feelings, your emotions, how are you feeling the grocery line. Like, you gotta tether yourself to something that's unchanging. And I think that's
You can't
important.
just talk from your own trauma.
Because this is life for everybody. Everybody that ever breathed is gonna go through this. So the question is not, will these obstacles come? The question is, who you gonna be when they happen? And like Luke said, sometimes the title of father or husband to us is a safe space. So in the process of creating the landscape for that, we're also trying to figure out how the hell to do it. So it's like we're trying to work this out together. But I think it's really cool to see like strong men in these different stories and in these points of view being unapologetically themselves, which is also flawed. I think that's who we are as humans, and I think that's what makes the journey more compelling, is because none of us figured it out. None of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And being willing to share it yourself within the process of figuring it out. Like, some of us feel like we gotta figure it all out and then we can share it. But it's like we don't figure it out until we get some input and some like safety from someone else. That's why platonic relationships are really important, whether it's platonic through brotherhood or through, you know, with a woman. You know, it's like you need to be able to feel like I don't have to romanticize or sexualize something to feel safe. You know, like.
Well, here's the part about that is the time it takes to figure that out. If you wait too long to say, oh, I'm going to figure this out on my own and then address it, you'll be waiting the rest of your life. Just at 50, did I get to the point that I went, oh, I think I need to be open and figure this out as it's happening and let other people in.
Yeah.
So that I can have that transparency.
Yeah.
So that I can be a better father,
Yeah.
a better friend, a better actor, a better everything.
Yes.
And it's a practice.
It's
like
a process.
You gotta practice that sharing because we're so conditioned to do it on our own that it feels like such a big to do the first time that you do it. But the more you practice sharing your process and your exploration with people that you care about, the more you practice being a safe listener for somebody, the easier it becomes, you know?
Yes. And we just maintain the idea that we are all children of God, and you maintain the idea we're constantly learning, right? And then the age is one thing. That's what we did as humans. We put a number on it and said, at this point, you're supposed to know something, you know. And then in your mind, you feel that you have to act like you know. And in some ways, that hurts you when you don't know. There's a lot of men, it doesn't matter the age, they don't know. And we have to get to a point where we open a space, a safe space, a circle where men can say, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I look like I'm supposed to know, but I don't know.
We don't give each other that grace. And that's what I love about your character on The Shine. You've given other men that space, right? Like that circle.
Right.
And I've never seen that on TV.
Yeah. Shout out to Lena Waithe and Common. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, you know, for showcasing that experience right there, because my character doesn't know. But what he does know is that he's hurting. And if he's hurting, then y'all must be hurting too, because nothing hurts me. But that's a lie. That's a fallacy. That's the biggest lie. And I think that's the realization. I mean, throughout his journey, if you followed his entire journey, he's trying to figure out who he is. He's never had the space to figure out, oh, I don't want to be a thug. I want to go into furniture. I want to be a musician. I want to be a doctor. I want to be something more than what my environment is telling me to be, because of survival, right? But I think that's why it's so cool that we depict these things. That's why we have to be the voices for that, and in hopes that it inspires more productivity to shed light on our experience and how it should be. We should talk more.
To Luke's point though, like it takes courage to be the person to walk the plank first and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll jump off in here and see how it goes. And like sometimes you literally got to be a mad scientist with your own life and be like, look yourself in the mirror, what's not working, and literally fix it.
And it might not get easier, you just get better at it, you know what I'm saying?
And empower yourself with knowledge. Like if you don't know it, how can you be held responsible?
You ain't learning, you're losing.
But you gotta surround yourself with a village of like-minded, but also people who know more than you, who hold you accountable, and it's okay. And that, you know what I mean? It's like there are people who know more than you. Listen to them. It's okay.
But we have to find those people.
Right.
Because until you're willing to be open and say, oh, I want more, then those people don't know that you want more, and they're fighting their own thing of
Right.
this, right?
We're all trying to figure it out.
until we all look at each other and go, you want to do this together? You doing this too?
Man, let's link up, man.
Right?
That's what the thing is.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give yourself permission to evolve. Permission to know that you are changing and you're constantly going to be changing.
You deserve grace
And you
too.
do. And it's like, I can let this part of myself go. I can let this version of myself go. And if you cling to like older versions of yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to be open to asking for what's next. Because, you feel like you're going to lose everything. But it's like really you just shedding a part of you that no longer serves you. Right? But if you hold on to it, there's no room for the next thing. So if you give yourself permission to say, this is going to pass. This version of myself is going to pass. These circumstances I'm in, I'm going to pass. This relationship is going to pass. This job is going to pass. It opens you up to find the people who have the next bit of information for you, or the next bit of a deeper relationship or connection with you,
Absolutely.
I think Maya Angelou said that every storm runs out of rain. So it's like at the end of the day, there's going to be these things that happen, but it's like, what are you going to empower yourself with to navigate the waters when they come? You know what I'm saying? So like this gentleman has said, it's like part of that is the village. Part of that, again, going back to the first point, Mr. Brady, I gotta call you Mr. Brady. But
You look younger than us somehow. I don't know how to. I don't know how you
Wayne
do
stay
it.
fly. When the last time you see Wayne and just,
listen, anyway. But my point though is like getting past the stigma of, in our case, it's masculinity and the thing that prevents us from removing. Everybody alive is at a costume party and they don't know it.
right,
Wow.
right.
Say that
So I say everybody alive is at a costume party and they don't know it. So how can you sit at a costume party and realize who's affected by the same scars if we're all wearing masks?
Right.
So like if I can't take my mask off, I can't recognize some of the outlines of like, hey yo, let me holler at you for a second.
Because
You
we're not
understand what I'm
allowed to.
Yes.
Because we are not allowed to. We aren't allowed to, and this is the tough conversation that we can't even fully express here. We aren't allowed to with our own people because we push each other back sometimes. Because
Yes.
if you take that mask off, then you're punished for it. And then we're not allowed to by the outside forces, by people that don't look like us, because they already have a preconceived notion of, well, you're a big black buck, so you should talk like this and walk like that, and then that's how it should be. And then their perception fuels us to make us do this
Yes.
weird ass loop.
Don't show weakness. That's
Yes.
weak. What are you
Yes.
doing crying? That's weak.
Take off that costume. I love that.
And then we metabolize it, internalize it, and we don't give ourselves that space alone
Right.
to do it.
Right.
My thing is, why would you carry a bunch of baggage home that nobody's gonna help you unpack?
Right.
Message.
When are you writing your book, man?
Yeah.
When are you writing your
I
book?
read too much, bro.
Let it flow, brother. Let it flow.
I love it. You know that I'm giving the signal to wrap up, but before I do, I just want to come to you, Brian, and ask you about the feedback that you've gotten, being able to step into this space as a trans man playing a trans man on your show.
Yes.
That's a historic space.
Yes.
What
Yes.
type of feedback have you gotten? And also, how does it feel to be, it sucks sometimes to be first. Trust me, I know. It sucks sometimes to be first. What does that feel like?
It's an honor, it's an honor to be able to bring my full experience to my work as an artist. I think that was the question I was asking myself. I spent so much of my life just trying to be a man. And then I got to a point where it's like, well, what kind of man do I want to be? And I feel like that's the journey that all of us are on, or that we should aspire to be on. Once you've taken that ownership of your space as a man, then you decide, like, what kind of man am I going to be? And then that's between me and God, right? And then once I had that connection, that understanding with God, then it's just for me to just go stand in it. And to allow me standing in my truth to bring other people to come forward into their own truth. So I had this feeling of like, honor to be able to do it, encouragement from other people who I know were feeling kind of bottled up and they can't be themselves. So that gives me strength. So even if someone is coming at me, attacking me, I know usually it's from a place of ignorance or from their own pain about where they're at in their journey. And so it's like, I have grace for you because I know that you have a lot more steps to go through. And what's coming out of you is really, that is at you. So I don't take it personal, you know what I mean? So because people like you have come before me and have been the first in other spaces, I know that I can do it, and I know that it's part of my purpose. And so it gives me like the strength to just kind of keep that vision. You know, Devon Frank was up here before talking about you can't follow if you don't have a vision. And it's like I'm able to have this vision of myself because I have that peace and that alignment with all of who I am.
Wow.
Word up.
I'm not just saying this because we're doing a panel, but when I tell you that not only has Essence Fest filled my soul this weekend, but talking to the five of you, you have filled my cup up so much that now I'm ready to go back in the world. And I think that these are the conversations that we need to have, and I'm honored to know y'all. I'm really honored.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for these men, please. Now, before I let you go, we're gonna take a selfie, an Essence Fest selfie. We're gonna take a quick moment, so let me turn around. And I'm gonna take a selfie, and then I'm gonna take a video. So, you know y'all gotta make some noise for the video. So let's take a selfie this way first, they said. Brand new singing group. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Now let's get these beautiful people in the picture. Look at that. All that melanin, let it settle in once again. 1, 2, 3. Now let's do a video. Look at this, Essence Fest 2024. Leading black men panel over here. Hulu, ABC, Freeform, Honest Collective. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Essence Fest. Thank you all. I love you all, really. Thank you for having us.